It's here, people, it's here. It's the GoPro HERO13 Black. And I got the accessories. So the stuff that they advertise, we'll be able to test out today. Before we get into it, let's unbox this thing. I've got the EDC multi-tool from Condor Blue. Shout out to my brother David Manning. We're gonna use this blade right here to open there. Also put it right here. This tool, this is actually the first time I've used this tool to open a package. And it's working out pretty well. Time to open this thing. GoPro always does lots of boxes. Let's see, we've got the ultra wide lens mod, which is essentially the GoPro Max lens. So I'm glad they changed the name because the name Max should probably stick to just the GoPro Max. Let's not cross pollinate. We got the ND Filter 4-pack, ND filters. That's exciting and new with the GoPros. We've got the waterproof shutter remote. Might be fun to put on the end of a pole and actually control the GoPro from there. Macro lens mod, some macro images. Check that out. A magnetic latch mount. So this they did advertise, but they don't include with the GoPro. This is an accessory that you have to purchase separately. So I did, so there it is. We got the magnetic latch ball joint mount. So very similar to the magnetic latch mount, but the magnetic latch ball joint mount has that ball joint on it so you can adjust your images. And then this one right here, this might be the GoPro HERO13 Black. You know, let's totally do this cinematically with great audio. Okay, let's do this. Just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I might also be making extra noises just so you can hear it. There it is, the HERO13 Black. It's brand new. It's totally different. Okay, here, isn't there usually a pull tab? There's the pull tab. Let me get the microphone again. I'm gonna hold this up. Oh, jeez. Okay, I guess that didn't work out so well. Oh my gosh. I did it. This is it. So glorious. Wow. 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 We've got some literature, more literature. Ooh, some stickers. Wow, that's dope. Check out that pink sticker. That's pretty dope. All the different colors. That's actually pretty cool. Is that a hint at something? Is there something pink coming out soon? Is the GoPro Max gonna be pink? More literature, more literature. We just wanna get to the camera. USB-C to USB-C, first time. It's usually always been USB-C and USB-A. That's cool. Here's our battery. It's a brand new battery. I actually hear that this lasts longer. It's a totally different battery. It does not work with the HERO12 or anything before. It's not backwards compatible, even though they're pretty much the same size. That's cool. I'm fine. I'm fine. You got this little doohickey. That's actually the official name. This is called a doohickey. And it just goes in there. You could actually use all of this together. You have this curved adhesive mount. You have the doohickey. You have the doohickey. And here she is. The HERO13 Black. That's glorious. Let's get some audio of this. This actually sounds pretty good when this happens if it's done right. Let's see if we do it right. Your camera must be updated before you can use it. Oh, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know if I heard anything. So this is it. This is the HERO13 Black. It's literally the same size as the HERO12 Black. They're literally the same size because you can still use the media mod with this to get that external audio. So that's pretty good. But it's pretty cool. You'll actually see some subtle differences here. On the 12 Black, you had the LED light on the top, the indicator. Now it's in this whole black enclosure. So just a couple subtle design changes in there. And then at the bottom with the HERO13 Black, you've got these GoPro feet if you need them. I imagine they're phasing out of these GoPro feet things because of these magnetic latch mounts, which I'm pumped to show you today. So let's take this out for a spin and find out what all of this can do. Let's go. Okay, now let's take a look at the GoPro HERO13 Black. Got some accessories. This one's pretty cool because of this quick release. If we look at the bottom of the GoPro, there are these mounting fingers, which we're used to, and you can use that with your GoPro accessories, but say you don't want to use that, and then you want to use a 1/4-20 thread, you have that option underneath. But also, there's this brand new magnetic quick release. So here is the mount right here. I've got a couple, I've actually got the other one mounted to a pole that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But this is how it works. All you need to do is it magnets and it clips in. So there's a clip on each side. And to release, you just squeeze that, and it's quick release and easy to use, really fast for switching up your shots. And to take out the guesswork if you're on the right way or not, this could actually mount both ways, frontwards and backwards. And I've actually got this pole right here, this long selfie stick pole from a competitor that will not be named in this video, but I think you can take a wild guess. But there is this version of it that's just this top piece, and this can work as well. So I could clip it onto there and get those high shots that I want to get. And then when I'm done with that, I could switch over to this mount with these fingers. Okay, so that is the new quick release. So the talk of the town in this year's model is the new lens mod. So this one is the macro lens, this one is the wide lens, and right here we've got the ND filter kit. There they all are. I actually haven't used it yet. You can tell because those red tabs are on it. For the macro lens, this is how it works. You remove the lens by twisting counterclockwise, and then you'll see this blue dot and this blue indicator. That's to let you know where to line up your lens and to screw it back in. So let's remove our standard lens. We're going to replace it with the macro lens. This part is soft in the front, and you can also use this filter ring to adjust your focus. So let's turn it on. Also, what's really cool about these new lens mods is notice this blue indicator. I believe that there's a sensor or something that's built into there, but this is what makes it cool. I wish every camera company would do this, is that your GoPro can actually detect which lens is on there. So on here, I tap on video, it already knows that I have the macro lens mod on there. So with these macro shots, let's just go with the default, and I'm on this little piece of wood here. I could adjust the focus ring. Got these cool macro shots, these cool grains. Let's check out the bark. It's pretty sweet macro bark. Getting those textures. This little piece of wood on top. And if you're wondering how it looks, that's how it is. The thing is, the screen on the front's so small, I don't know what I'm focusing. So if I adjust the filter ring, I'm actually not sure what's in focus and what's not. But still pretty cool to have that macro. So there is a stop if I turn all the way to the right, if I turn all the way to the left, there is a stop. So that is all the way to the right. I turn it to the left and it goes out of focus. So I'm probably a couple inches away from my shot. and that's how everything is in detail. With macro shots, macro photography and videography is actually pretty challenging because you have to make sure your images are stable or you're shooting at a really high frame rate so everything's smooth, because since it's a macro lens, you're getting those jittery shots. So let's swap out our lens for the new wide lens. I'm gonna put the cover on and I'm gonna twist this off like so. Now this wide lens, if you've used the Max lens mod in the past, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's the new updated version with this blue sensor right here on the back of the lens and on the camera. These are not backwards compatible, so these only work with the new versions, but I'll line up those blue dots and twist it on, and I'll take the front off and I'll remove the cover. And then what's cool is on the back, you'll see it says ultra wide. It has now detected the ultra wide, and this is how the ultra wide lens looks. That's pretty wide. It's getting, you can see my hand even. So I'll hold it with my left hand, but now you get all of this beautiful scenery behind me. That is the ultra wide lens. And what's cool about this is that you can use this when you're doing sports. When you want those POVs, either this way, see everything wide, or you want to see yourself with everything around you behind you, give you that atmospheric shot to let the viewer know where you're at and what you're doing. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about ND filters. These are ND filters from GoPro. These are official GoPro ND filters, and it's pretty cool because you'll use them the same way, but it has that sensor in there so your camera can detect which ND sensor's on there. They're essentially sunglasses for your camera. You could do a little more research on it, but pretty much since they're sunglasses for your camera, you're able to keep that consistent frame rate so that your hands or anything moving in motion, even if it's small, even if it's moving very slightly or fast, you're gonna get that natural motion blur. Do the test with me. Put your hand in front of your face and wave it around like this, and you'll see it's blurred in front of you. Now, if you're shooting at a high frame rate, everything is a lot more clear and you don't get that blur. So that's why you want ND filters, is just keep that natural motion blur. So we'll pull these out here. We've got a nice little cover. We've also got ND 4, 8, 16, and 32. And I haven't used these yet, hence this cover. But again, you'll see this little blue notch there. You line that up to the blue dot on the camera. So it's angled like that, and then you push in and you twist. And now if I take this off, I'm gonna save this in here. I now have the ND filter on there. ND metering. Your GoPro can suggest the best ND filter for your shot. An up or down arrow tells you which filter to try, but you can use any one you'd like. That's pretty cool. So you get the smart information telling you inside your GoPro which ND filter is gonna be best for you. It tells me that I have ND filter 32 on, and I'm gonna get up again and start filming myself. Now, if I'm over here, I'm in the sun. I wanna be in the sun because I wanna show you how cool this works. And then also if I move my hand, that's gonna be a regular, nice, buttery blur there as my hand, because in videos you wave for that long so that everyone's looking at your hand. So you just wanna make it look as real as possible as you can. So that is what's new with the filters for GoPro Hero 13 Black. Okay, we've got built-in stabilization with the HyperSmooth 6.0, and that is actually carried over from last year's Hero 12 Black, which is very much still the same, but I thought I'd give you a little demo anyway of how that looks. All right, I've got the GoPro in my hand, and if I run, let's see how hyper smooth that is. It was kind of a short run. I'm not much of a runner. Actually, I am. I just got into running about 2 months ago, and it's getting pretty good. But so this is hyper smooth. Yeah, and I actually have this in the 8x7 sensor, so I can do vertical video or landscape video depending on what I want to do. So that is HyperSmooth 6.0. Still the same, but still awesome. Emmy award winning too, I believe. All right, I'm actually really excited to try this next part because I haven't done this yet, and it's Timecode Sync. Is you could take the 12 or newer cameras, so this year's the 13. So the 12 or the 13 or even newer, I guess in the future, I bet. But you could do a Timecode Sync so that when you're in post and you're editing, it's actually a lot easier for you to sync your footage together based on timecode. All right, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put the Hero 13 in my car to kind of be aimed towards me, and then we're gonna put the Jaws clamp on the roof. So we'll do this suction cup. There we go. And then I'm gonna place this here to film myself. And then we're gonna take the JAWS clamp with the Hero 12, and we're gonna put it on top so that I can film multicam and you can see how I sync it in post later. So we'll just clamp this. So we're just gonna clamp this right on the top. I'm not going for like a nice, real professional angle since this is just a demo. Cool, but I got my car there. I'm gonna turn this one on here. Great, we got a good angle. All I have to do is go into the GoPro Quick app. I'm gonna go to the camera. I'm gonna go to settings. There we go. I'm gonna tap on these 3 vertical dots. I'm gonna tap on the 3 vertical ellipses in the top right, it's right there. I'm gonna go to sync time codes. And it has this little thing. I'm gonna put this in front of my camera. It syncs and it says time code updated. And then on this one, I'm gonna scan the QR code on the front. It's really bright, so I don't know if I can see it. Getting some glare from the sun, so I'll do it in my car. And it says Timecode Sync updated. You wanna keep your cameras on whenever you timecode sync, because it obviously keeps everything in there. But now let's go for a drive with our 2 cameras in sync. I got my camera synced. I can go in, and now I am being filmed from a multicam, from the camera up top, from the camera down here. You don't get to see my password. And I'll just drive around the parking lot just to show you how this thing works. It's kind of nice because everything is synced between the cameras, and the motion outside and inside are the same. So let's just turn around here. So let's just turn around, and we're gonna go back the other way, just so you can see how Timecode Sync works. Another feature that I really like as well is just to get something different, get something unique, are these star trails and these night lapses. So essentially you could capture the sky with the stars moving overnight. This shot that I did right here took me all night long. I just put it on top of the gazebo in the back of my house. And it's really crazy because you see the way that the earth moves in motion. So all in all, pretty good product, I've got to say. What's new this year is this burst slow-mo mode. It has 5.3 at 120 wide, 900p at 360 linear, and a super slow-mo 720, 400 frames per second with the narrow view. So you kind of notice this pattern here. The higher resolution you go, it's wider than the higher frame rate, but lower resolution you go, the more narrower the view gets. I was like, other than running, what kind of film that I do that I would need 400 frames per second on? Then I thought, my dog. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about who is this GoPro HERO13 Black for. If you have the Hero 12 Black, I don't think it's for you. I don't think it's for you even if you have the 11 Black. Maybe. There are some upgrades in there that are good. But yes, it's the same body, a lot of the same internal features. Really, the camera hasn't changed too much. It's an incremental upgrade. We see this every year with all sorts of tech. And they're not targeting people for the need to upgrade, but they're targeting for those that are 2 or 3, 4 generations behind, that when they upgrade, they're not gonna get a camera from last year. They're gonna get a new camera that has new features this year. And I think that the GoPro HERO13 Black delivered with that. One thing I did want to point out is that it's literally the same exact body size. The frame, everything's the same, and that's a good thing because we all spend a lot of money on mounts and frames and mods, and all of those should work the same still. So for example, we've got this door that I used for my night shoot. I can take this out, and luckily USB-C is still in place. I could still use this same slot and plug in my GoPro for power and still record overnight without having to get a new accessory. So a lot of accessories like this still work. We've got this one, because even the media mod that I've had for quite a couple of years now still works. I just do that and I slide in the GoPro and it still fits exactly the same. So I love that. It also detects the same. The reason I love the media mod is not because the mic is great, because I don't think the mic is great, but because it allows me to put external audio in as well as USB-C through there and this HDMI mini out here. This one here is from Small Rig. Still works the same. Honestly, this says for Hero 9 and 10 Black. So this works for the 9, 10, probably 11, 12, and the 13 now, but it still works the same. You know, this one from Tellison, this is one of those that you can take in the water and you can kind of get that half view of under the water and above water, and this still fits. See, it still works. And there's the button on the top in the same spot, so I could tap record and record. So that still works. Someday I'm actually gonna use this. I told you who this GoPro was for. I told you who it was not for. But if you're like me, if you have gear acquisition syndrome, gas, I have gas as well. I think it's a worthy upgrade, honestly. The new lens mods are pretty cool, so I think that's worth it. With the ND filter, with the max lens mod, I mean the new ultra wide angle lens and the macro lens. So that, my friends, is the GoPro HERO13 Black. It's here, it's 2024. It's exciting. It's a really good, solid device. I'm gonna say it's pretty good. If you found value in this video, please don't be shy by letting me know by hitting like and subscribe and sharing it with your friends. And if you want to see future content based around creators and tech and cameras, mainly around GoPros and small cameras and compact cameras and such, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.